NFC Matters shows for free a week. But if you want to support the channel, there are a few ways of doing it. Hit the like button on each live broadcast or video. This helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button and select the all notifications option. Hit the thanks button to buy a super sticker. You can do this on the live chat too. You can also join our Patreon page or buy us a coffee at the link in all of our video descriptions below. We are also looking for sponsors. If you want our latest advertising rates and how you can get involved, then email John at nufcmatters1892@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
Attack. It feels like I've been talking to myself again, but it's the only way you're ever gonna learn. You look back and it's all in the past. I'm dwelling on the thoughts I cannot say to you. If I don't say the words, then maybe it's not true. And it feels alright when they come and say to you, you're the only thing that makes us all believe.
Good evening, welcome along to NUFC Matters. It is Talk of the Toon, and welcome to Sid from Songs from the Attic. How are you, Sid?
Well, good, Steve. Happy New Year to everybody out there. So, yeah, all that sort of hoo-ha.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too, mate. Just an update as well. Sid has got his own channel. Go and subscribe to it. Sid, you've been quite busy over the festive period. What have you been reviewing? What have you uploaded to the channel? What can people expect?
Just on a King Crimson show. That was hard work editing, and it was a nightmare actually. And then Rob came on. We did a goth show, which I haven't had 2 seconds to myself. So I will get that edited sometime over the next week. So's Rob. That was good crap. It was quite funny, the goth one. That's just quite amusing. So you'll enjoy that one when it comes up.
Great stuff. Okay, well, it is a couple of weeks since we've had this show on, and a lot of games being played over the festive period since me and Sid last spoke. I guess a general question would be, what did you make of the festive period? If we, I guess we start with the Sunderland game and go from there. That was probably the last time we did a show.
It was before the Sunderland game on it. Obviously that was terrible. There's no doubt about it. I mean, what really annoyed me most was I keep seeing this couple of friends I haven't spoken to for a while. My mate, obviously from Sunderland, living down south now, he must have bombarded me about 25 times after the game with pictures. I haven't spoken for years, with loads of pictures, pictures with Voldemort wearing a Sunderland top and all the rest of it. And I'm thinking, dear me, when we beat them the year before, I think I sent them 2 messages. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, seriously? I almost blocked him. I got that fed up with it by the end of it. I was like, give it a rest, man. I mean, that was dreadful. That was like the nadir of the year, I think, wasn't it? That was the real low point. We were really, really terrible. The serious lack of effort in that game was unbelievable. Or lack of performance, maybe, rather than a lack of effort. It was just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
We needed a good game to bounce back from that defeat, because that obviously, I think everybody realises of a black and white persuasion, players, fans, staff alike, that losing to the Mackhams is just not acceptable when you're a Newcastle fan, and vice versa, of course, for them. So we needed a game to give us a lift, and we got it.
Spurs after them.
We got Fulham we had Fulham in the League Cup quarter final. So it was a home game, of course. We beat Fulham 2-1. Wissa scored, which was a blessing. Wissa getting a goal, and Lewis Miley scoring potentially his last goal from midfield. More of that later, of course. But 2-1 winners and into the semi-finals again.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that was a good performance actually, from what I remember. I remember being at the match, but it was good. Delighted to get through, and we all sat there thinking, "Oh, who we're going to get?" and the excitement of it all, and then you get Man City, and you had to get one of the big four, didn't you? You know, it was literally down to them, Chelsea and Arsenal. So it was, yeah, I'd have preferred Chelsea, if I'm being honest. But it is what it is. And I suspect Arsenal will get to the final. I mean, Arsenal must be favourites for about 3 trophies this year. But they are beatable. They're absolutely beatable. City, on the other hand, I think we need about 3 goals to maybe get a draw down at their ground at the Etihad. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But that was brilliant. It was a nice atmosphere at the ground. And then since then, we've done all right. We've done all right subsequently. Spurs game was disappointing. But yeah, we've had some decent performances.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple of league games. We had a couple of league games after that. We had Chelsea at home.
Yeah.
We flew into a two goal lead. Voldemort with two great goals. But then, 2 goals, one by James, which is a good free kick. You can take nothing away from it. Pedro, of course, who was a target for Newcastle in the summer, got the equaliser. But Newcastle were robbed by the officials. They may have dropped a clanger themselves by conceding 2 goals against Chelsea, but they were robbed by the officials that day.
That was the worst refereeing performance. I keep saying this, but it was such a low. It was atrocious refereeing. Yeah, that was a joke of a game. It was a joke of a game. There should have been a red card. I thought the decisions were just absolutely abysmal. Yeah, very, very poor refereeing in that game, and it seems everybody else seemed to think so as well, judging by watching what was going on YouTube and various journalists' comments. It was terrible. But to be fair, we shouldn't have left it down to decisions, even though this arguably should have been a red. It should have been down to the fact that we should have been 4 up at half time. We should have been out of sight, because that was the best we'd played probably since the cup final. I think that would be fair. That would be fair to say. I thought we were really, really good. First half we were brilliant, but then the second half they were good. You know, that you can't get around it. They were very, very good, and got hit by a sucker punch. I have to say the second goal by Pedro was brilliant, by the way. The way he's just suckered the defender in and just nuts it over and leaves him flat-footed and gets away. A very clever goal. Very clever goal. But just a bit of a choker, to be honest. So, I mean, you read my my comments when I wrote the fanzine thing. It's
a great article.
So I based it on basically the fact that, an elite manager, because I'm sick of, or certainly at the time, well now, sick of seeing substitutions at 70 minutes. It's almost nailed on, and it's always like for like, and there's never some sort of alternative. And I know he's come out with the whole plan B comments recently, but it would be nice to have a plan B. And I compared him to the Aston Villa Unai Emery, because of the fact that Emery was in the same situation. They were getting beat off Chelsea, and he changed the formation, put the players on, and they won 2-1. And it's about having somebody who's able to adapt and do things, And I said in the article, and I'm happy to stick by this, and I don't care what people say, is that the amount of money we've spent this year, the least we should need to do is to guarantee Europe for Eddie Howe to keep his job. And again, in my opinion, I think that should be the bare minimum. You've got to guarantee Europe, otherwise it's a step back. And I don't want to hear any of this, but we were such and such so many years ago and we did this, that, and the other. Well, that's all right. You're entitled to your opinion, obviously, but my opinion is that we should be getting Europe year in, year out with the amount of money that we've spent. We've spent a fair wedge. So, and he's done a great job so far. I would be gutted to see him go, but that is the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. So, pressure's on him.
The fanzine will be out later this week.
Nice, yes, very clever.
So yes, it's a jam. Any jam fan will understand where the cover comes from. I come up with the ideas. Rob Maltman, our designer, comes up with the design. Yeah, love it. Thank you, Rob. It's great stuff. And the content in this magazine, I've got to be honest, in this fanzine is brilliant. I do say that every time, but the articles, like Sid's, Mitch is about the ground. There's some wonderful contributions this time round. Thanks to everybody. Barry Hindmarsh, of course, who's followed me from publication to publication, has got another great piece in there as well. There's a couple of great articles in from Tom Richardson stateside as well, looking at Tonali and Beardsley. So a wonderful cross-section of articles. So hopefully that will be pushing its way towards you over the weekend. I've already got the stamps. I've already got the envelopes. I've got to sit and write them. Yes, I do it old school, as everyone knows. The other games that we had, probably the most frustrating, other than the Mackems game, Sid, since I last spoke to you, was Man United.
Oh,
How
did we not get a point? How did we not win that game by about 4 goals?
That was like Newcastle United in the season that blew the league. Basically, okay, we didn't have 50-odd shots at goal like we did that night, but we had 20-odd, and we should have won that by a country mile.
Oh, that was honestly. I'm not actually going to blame the manager. I just thought it was one of them games. You get them every now and again. I remember watching Fulham and we absolutely battered them and got beat 1-0. Same with Leeds United once, where Martin pulled off about 20 saves. It just happens. That was the worst. What was annoying though, that was the worst Manchester United team I've ever seen, probably since the 1974 team that got relegated. They were that bad. They were absolutely atrocious. I looked at that Man United team and thought, which of these players would get into our team? And I thought, well, none of them. They're just garbage. I tell you what, we dodged a bullet with Sesko. He's garbage. He looks terrible. He may come good and make me eat me words, because it can take up to a year for a player from another league to adapt to the league. We've seen that with Thierry Henry and Perez and such great players, and Bergkamp as well. But my money's not. I wouldn't put money on it. Let's put it that way. So yeah, honestly, that was an absolute. I remember texting me mate afterwards to say, how did we lose that game? How did we not at least get a point? I couldn't understand that. I genuinely couldn't understand it. I thought the keeper should have saved it, by the way, as well.
No doubt about it. Before we look at the last couple of games, the big conversation before we broke up for Christmas, if you like, was the goalkeeping situation. Pope or Ramsdale. We had a good look at Ramsdale. I've got to be honest. My opinion's been very simple. I don't think Ramsdale is the upgrade we thought he was going to be, and I've got to be honest. I trust Pope more. Then I trust Ramsdale in goal. Is that your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember I watched that Geordie Journo show, and they said exactly the same thing. We had to watch him, we had to see what he's like. He's great with his feet, but I'm sorry, your job is to save shots and keep the ball out of the net. And the Man United one, if you're getting a good hand to that and it's still going in, then you've got to question it, I'm sure Shea Given would have knocked it 10 yards wide of the post, and, Pav and other keepers of the past. So I thought it was very, very poor, very, very poor. He's not the answer. Pope's not the answer long-term, of course, and it has to wait the summer now, I think. I know they've talked about Kobel, I think his name is, from Dortmund. He's top draw, by the way. If you get him, you get 8 years out of a genuinely world-class goalkeeper. He would be my number one choice. Whereas Trafford, you're having another gamble again on a person who's not really proven himself yet. It's a big gamble, I would personally, because and I always say this, and people don't agree with me, along with the centre forward, goalkeeper is the most important position on the pitch.
Yeah.
And no team wins the league without a great goalkeeper. None. So they've got to get a great goalkeeper, and preferably somebody who's proven. And if you want to get a younger keeper like a Trafford as a number 2, then that's absolutely fine by me. But you've got to have somebody who's been through the mill and done it, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that's my view anyway.
No, I would agree, mate. I don't think you'll get many disagreeing either. Okay, we had 2 more games. The Burnley game away. Not the greatest of performances, but And I'll re-emphasize what I said a couple of weeks ago. Well, 10 days ago, whatever it was. It was on the 30th, wasn't it? The performance didn't matter. The result did, and Newcastle did again go into an early lead. Obviously, conceded a really stupid goal, and it was an avoidable goal. If Gordon had simply tracked back originally, that situation wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But Joe Linton and Wissa gave us a 2-1 lead, obviously going into the interval. It took a great finish from, Captain Fantastic Guimaraes, Bruno in the 93rd minute to make it 3-1 and to secure the points. It wasn't an onslaught, as Lee Ryder described it, but it was anxious. It was anxious. That's what it was.
I've got we were under the cosh.
Under the cosh is a great way to describe it.
Is that lesser than an onslaught?
We were under the cosh at times, but let's make no bones about it. Burnley were under the cosh as well. It was very. If that had been a game I was watching, a neutral game, I would have enjoyed it. There was chances at both ends. Both teams were going for it. But when you're in a position like Newcastle, after dropping a clanger against Man United, dropping clangers against Chelsea, and dropping the biggest clanger against the Mackhams, and of course dropping a clanger, if you want to go further back, against bloody Leverkusen in the Champions League, it was a month of dropping clangers. And 2-1, a 2-0 lead being reduced to 2-1 against a team struggling to stay in the division. Suddenly you're like, oh my God, it's going to happen again. So that's why it was so anxious. So, it wasn't an onslaught. It wasn't a one-sided game, certainly not. But it just felt like that, I think.
Yeah, because they've got into their heads that sense of panic, isn't it? Oh, we're in front. What do we do now?
Yes.
And it's all down to confidence. If Newcastle suddenly go on a run where they win 4 off the trot, then that's all gone. And then they've got confidence, and then you kick on. Confidence is the biggest thing within football. And at the minute, the confidence is quite low. It's obviously rising now because of the last 2 results, and rightly so. But it's certainly away from home, it's been low. And it's obviously the narrative as well. You have the press and Sky and all the rest of them saying, oh, Newcastle haven't won in ages. And they were saying, you could almost hear them hoping that Burnley would get an equaliser in terms of the phrasing that was used. But we deserved to win. I'm going to be honest, I thought we just edged it. I mean, for the Burnley game, I had Big Joe as my man of the match. I thought he played really, really well. Again, I've got Miley was terrific. Wissa, lovely to see him. He scored, didn't he? Is that right? I'm getting my games mixed up. He saw near each other. Scored a very good goal. Casual, wasn't it? Very casual goal. But a proper poacher's goal, which we've absolutely missed, because Voldemort is not a poacher. He's a different type of player. A very good player, but a different type of player. But again, I was frustrated in that game with Gordon. I thought it was atrocious. I do wonder what some players have to do as well in terms of getting picked and some of the form of some of the players. And it was just irritates me a little bit, the whole favoritism it appears to be the case anyway with certain players. It's like so that was annoying, and I was miffed. I mean, we won, but I was still a bit miffed that we won, if that makes sense. I was miffed that in terms of the performance. Delighted we won, miffed with the performance. But then you go to the Crystal Palace game, and that was just a good, solid win. I think we deserved to win. Nobody can say otherwise. I thought Pope definitely made a difference. Steve, I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's very capable of saving with his feet. That's what it is. And I don't want to tempt fate, but he's been working on his kicking. You can see he's been working on his kicking and his distribution. He is trying different things. So I think some of the criticism, and he won't be immune to it. He will hear it. He will know what people are saying. I genuinely think that there's been a chance to try and improve it. And I think maybe even training with Ramsdale has probably helped that,
Yeah. I totally get that. I totally get it.
Yeah,
I thought he made a difference. He was just a bit more assured, and I wasn't panicking, if I'm being honest, in terms of when balls were whipped over. But I thought the performance was brilliant. I mean, again, I thought Big Joe was fantastic. He really was. I thought he was my pick of the 3 midfielders. And I've seen the criticism of Tonali. I thought he was really good. I didn't understand him. And I know he gave the ball away a couple of times, but for one of them, he actually went and got the ball back. I didn't understand why he went off. And I know some of the fans booed, apparently. I never heard that, but
I didn't either.
Fans booed that, apparently, which is harsh, I think, if that's the case. But then the lad who came on didn't out, in my opinion. You know, I've not seen a single thing from him. So yeah, I didn't understand that one. Whereas Jacob Murphy, and I'm going to put this out here, I'm a big fan of Jacob Murphy, as you've seen on the show. Is he a top player? No, he's not. But he puts everything in it. If you're actually at the ground and he's right in front of us, you can see him. He's constantly stretching his hamstring out, constantly. And Stephen, who I sit next to, will go, "Oh, look, he's doing it again." He's absolutely stretching his hamstring all the time. He's been playing with an injury for months.
Yes, 100%.
So there's no surprise that his form's gone down the Swanee, and people digging him out and giving him grief. Just give the lad a break, man. You know, nobody can ever fault his aptitude, the effort that he's putting in, everything that he's doing. He always tries. He's by far the best crosser of the ball at the club in terms of a whipped ball. But there's never anybody there half the time, you know, even though you know what's going to come. So yeah, he was terrible. I think I give him like 1 or 2 out of 10. I thought he was awful, but you're not going to hear me digging him out, you know. However, there were some sterling performances. I thought, as I say, Big Joe was brilliant again. I thought Barnes was fantastic when he came on, and I wrote in the thingy there, I don't understand why Barnes is not starting every week on the left. And hearing Eddie Howe today talking about Gordon, well, he doesn't like playing on the left. You know, well, you know, I didn't like Bubble and Squeak when I was a little kid on a Monday, but I got it. Actually, I grew to love it. But that's what you guaranteed you're going to get off your mum, you know, for tea. So I'm sorry, just tell him, play on the right. Barnes is the man in form. He should have the right to be starting on the left-hand side. He's by far a better finisher. He's a 7 out of 10 if he plays on the left. Most weeks he might get up to an 8. Yes, Anthony Gordon might well be able to put a 9 out of 10 performance in, but you can count them every 3 or 4 weeks when he does it. He's just not consistent enough. So he either wouldn't be starting for me, or if he does start, he starts on the right wing. And that's honestly my opinion with regards to him. As for Tonali, he'll come back into form. He's just class. And he's clearly had a cold. He might have had, we don't know what he's had. He might have had COVID. If he has, it would take a good few months. Who knows? Nobody knows. None of us know. Only people within the club knows what happened to him when he had the cold and he had the flu or whatever he had. So there might be mitigating circumstances. I'm just literally guessing. But I mean, obviously Miley was the star, even though I thought Big Joe was very, very close to man of the match. I thought Miley was unbelievable. And I put a comment on Liam Kennedy's comments saying, "Oh, I think he could play centre half." And he must have mentioned it on the show. But I was the one who put the comment out there, folks. And yeah, I definitely he could play there. Probably lose a bit of his game, though, if you do, don't you, somebody? But he's got everything. He's 6'4". He's strong. He reads the game well. He's now starting to put a tackle in. But he was brilliant. And at the minute, he's undroppable. And at the minute, he's a better player than Tino is as a right back, which is really weird to say. Because Tino looks a better left back than he does as a right back. And I would keep Miley in as a right back at the minute. But long term, you might see him as a Rodri type of player, Steve.
Yeah.
You know, like a sort of, not quite a centre half, but like covering the back four, reading the game, dictating play. Honestly, he was fantastic the last 3 or 4 games. He's been just about man of the match virtually every week. So well done to him. He seems to have acquired a yard of pace, which he didn't have. It's noticeable that his gait seems to have changed with him running. I don't know if you've noticed that. Mm-hmm. So they've obviously worked on his running because he had this weird Penelope pit stop type of run beforehand. And
Dr. Neil was the one who mentioned that. He said to us when Miley broke into the first team that it was his running gait. So well done to Neil for pointing that out. He's one of the first to mention it, and you're definitely right. There has been a change,
and he was just brilliant, man. He's reading of the game, absolutely superb. Because I was all happy for him to go out on loan and get some experience otherwise, because what's the point of having him if you're not playing him? But he's earned his right he's absolutely earned his right to be starting every week now. Just fantastic. Lewis Hall had an off game, and he's another one who's been absolutely magnificent. Let's be honest. He's probably our most skillful footballer. And I would like to see Newcastle go and get another left back. And it allows Lewis Hall to play left back, but on occasions, maybe play left wing or left side of midfield as well, because he's got the lot and he's got the ability to play there, which he obviously played when he was slightly younger there for Chelsea. He's a super sensational footballer. And I think you get a left back, you've then got two positions basically covered in terms of squad rotation and all the rest, and you can allow Hall to show his flair and all the attributes that he's got, because he's a magnificent footballer.
Do you think Miley's finally found a place that he could call his own, or do you think he's going to get thrust into this Mr. Versatility role that Steve Watson did?
That's the problem, Steve, isn't it? You don't want that. You don't want that, because look what happened to Steve Watson.
Aaron Hughes is another one.
Yeah, Aaron Hughes, who we should never have sold, by the way. So we should never have sold Steve Watson at the time, to be brutally honest. So yeah, you've got to have a position. Yes, it's nice to have a utility man, but I'm not sure you want one as like more of an ML Craft type, somebody who's not as skillful as Miley to be in that position. I see him, as I say, as a Rodri type. Maybe he's in the long term, or centre half, but you might be losing a bit of his game then.
He certainly seems to fancy Tino as a left back. I know that he's got to rest. He's got to measure Hall's minutes, but he does like Tino as that left back, because obviously with Hall being out, Tino did fill in beautifully there. So
he did, but he's not as good a player as Hall. He's nowhere near as good going forward. I mean, he gets to the ball and he has a heart attack when he's got the opportunity to shoot, and then he just sort of passes it sideways. So that's something he needs to work on in his game, because, and I'm not digging Tino out here, by the way, folks. He's a fantastic footballer, and I really hope we manage to keep him in the summer. I doubt it, but I would like to see us keep him. And but at the minute, we've got somebody who's, in my opinion, playing better than Tino, and that in the same position. So why upset the apple cart at the moment? So I would keep Miley in, certainly for the Wednesday game, in that same position.
Yeah, yeah. Games are coming thick and fast. We are halfway through the show. Time for advert break, and then we'll have our music with Rob. A big thanks to all our sponsors, Skips and Bins. You can find them at their website, skipsandbins.com. Contact them, www.skipsandbins.com/contact. Say hello to low-cost waste disposal with pay-as-you-go and contract waste management. Big thanks to Media Arts for all the technical side of things. And a thanks to our fanzine sponsor, United Group Travel, UK Coach Holidays, established 2020. There are no strangers on our tours, just friends you haven't met yet. 2026 tours, 2 crew, driver and courier, local family company, 3-star plus quality hotels, no interchanges, hot and cold snacks and drinks available on the coach, all excursions included. Website www.unitedgrouptravel.com. Email beverly.ugtl@gmail.com. Telephone 01670 632 460 or mobile 0791 666 4174. Just £30 per person deposit. Big welcome to GC Competitions, a new sponsor. A day none of us will forget. This is your chance to win this stunning Newcastle United signed Carabao Cup final winners display with replica medal. For only $1.99 a ticket, you can be the proud owner of this piece of Toon history. The draw will take place on Sunday the 18th of January. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at www.gccompetitions.co.uk. If you want to support the channel, you can hit the subscribe button. It's free. We do 7 shows a week. Hit the thumb up to like the channel, and click share to your social media. If you like to listen to us as a podcast, you can find us on Sports Social Podcast Network, or iTunes, or Spotify, or other podcast providers. If you want to join the channel, hit the join button. It costs as little as £1.99 a month. Or why not take out a £25 one-off payment and get all of these goodies and become an NUFC Matters lifetime member by going to the website www.nufcmatters.co.uk. We've got some events coming up over the next couple of months. Super Mac and Gibbo will be at the Tyneside Irish Centre on Friday the 23rd of January, and Peter Beardsley will be at the Tyneside Irish Centre a week later on the 30th of January. Tickets for both games come from nufcmatters.co.uk or from Woucher. And it's good evening and welcome back to the show to Rob. How are you, Rob?
Hello, gentlemen, and Happy New Year to everybody.
All the best, Rob.
Yes, all the best.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
The album that Rob's not reviewing is Cougar Bait by Brian Hayner. Yes, interesting choice of cover there. But yes, the least said about that, the better. What are you bringing us today, Rob?
Well, before, just thank you for everybody for tuning in last year to my my specials I've done. This one being the Halloween and the Christmas jumper one. So again, I'm available for weddings, birthdays, and of course, podium dancing. Contact Steve. This week we're going for 1984's U2, The Unforgettable Fire. Absolutely class album. So it came in that version, and it was recently released on the Ruby Red double vinyl as well, which was really good. And it came round about the same time as Wide Awake in America. That's absolutely brilliant, so isn't it? Especially sort of Homecoming on this one. And
that's my favourite track on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So yeah, and also I forgot to say it came in this box set as well. The usual stuff, remixes, and there's a DVD documentary on the making of it, Slane Castle. So yeah, this is produced by Brian Eno, which you can feel all over this album. I can anyway, and Daniel Lanois, great producer. The album cover, I was trying to work out what it was about, The Unforgettable Fire, and it's about the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. Never knew that. That's what it's in relation to the name of the album, The Unforgettable Fire. So yeah, it opens with track number 1, A Sort of Homecoming. Absolutely love this. I mean, I think it could be my favourite U2 song of all time. Adam Clayton's bass playing on this, it's like a lullaby. It's just brilliant. It just flows. It's just brilliant. It holds everything in the background. The drums as well, just random misbeats, backsteps, backbeats, tom rack works, just outstanding, really good. And again, you've got the Edge bringing the ambience to this song as well. Just brilliant, the lyrics as well. On Borderland We Run. If anyone didn't know, the Edge was called the Edge because of his striking, chiseled jawline. That's why he was called the Edge. So you got to track number 2, Pride in the Name of Love. Massive song. I don't like it. Still don't like it. I didn't like it at the time. But I understand why everybody does. I'm not one of these. I just don't like big songs. Like you said, sort of Homecoming. That's me. I love it. This was filmed in Dublin, the video to this as well. The lyrics are really, really good though. The recording and the rehearsals of this are better than this version, I find, because they're just jamming it out in Slane Castle. It's really, really good watching them put it together. But the vocals on it just, I mean, try and do it just now, Sid. Go on. Just try and belt out the chorus. Yeah, it's brilliant, really punchy. It's almost got a more post-punk feel to it as well. Track 3, Wire. Again, one of these albums I've revisited. Just the guitar, and it's just that echo, the reverb, the whole lot, and then bang in your face, the bass, meaty, chunky, loose strings, just absolutely driving this song. It's brilliant. And then you've got Edge doing his scratch guitaring as he does, but it's really fast paced, very mesmerizing. To me, again, you can hear the Eno's influence all over this song for me. That's brilliant. Again, a line in it, here I come and out you go, you get. Just little lyrics like that, it just sort of throw me, and it's like, I wonder what he means by that. So then you've got the Unforgettable Fire. I was watching this morning. Brilliant video. And yeah, I do like the live version of that. There's one filmed at the Joshua Tree Tour in '87. It's just absolutely brilliant song, absolutely beautiful song, really moody. You know, everything's slowed down and it's like a carnival feel, and they're walking through the snow, and Larry Mullen Jr. just looks too pretty for his own good in the video.
Probably my favourite U2 song, actually.
Yeah, it is a
Brilliant.
great song. It's that warmth again. It's that depth.
Yeah.
It's just, and you know what I was thinking, Sid, as well. And there was a bit of the backing vocals that they know like that, and it did remind me a bit of 10cc. I'm not in love.
Yeah,
It just took me there with that, but it's just well put together.
It's got that clarinette as well, which they used to come out to, the theme from Harry's game as well, didn't it? So it's got
That's right.
that sort of sound, yeah.
That's right. It's great. Then you've got Promenade, nice harmonics by the Edge on this one. Again, not a lot of guitar, and I have heard Edge do stuff if he takes his effects off, and there's not a lot to it. But it's nice, moody. It's quite a dreamy track, but it's more of a feeling than just listen to this song, listen to this track. It's more deep. Again, just nice, gentle, subtle brushwork by Larry Mullen Jr. Turn it over, you got track B. 4th of July. This is exactly, to me, a continuation of Promenade. There's not a lot of difference in it, so I'll just run this by. Trance, ambient, experimental, soothing, and eerie. That sums that song up. Then you've got Bad. First thing that comes to mind for me was Live Aid. That performance, when they done that, I mean, who doesn't remember that if you're of a certain age? You know, when Bono jumps down, grabs the two girls, pulls them out the crowd, and standing with his Cuban heels on, dancing in the mud. Bit of a Springsteen moment, perhaps. But they stole the show of Live Aid with that song, and Queen as well. Absolutely brilliant song. Massive build up on this one. Explosion. It's like an explosion of the heart when it builds up. It's sort of quite a tear jerky, but it takes you on a journey. Sort of like got a similar feeling to Unforgettable Fire. I mean, I could talk on and on about this song, but buy the album and listen to it. You got Indian Summer Sky, bass and scratch intro. It's again, the bass on this is the soul of the song. It doesn't get as much credit as it should do, I don't think. But again, it's like drummers and bass players. I find that the better they are as musicians, how they lock in, you can't really hear them because your mind's not listening out for them because it's there and it's natural, it's organic, and that's what they have. They have that connection, which is brilliant. Bono's vocals on this song, spot on again, raw, brilliant. You know, it's a blue sky, keeps shouting out that. It's really nice. It's sort of a heartfelt song. We've got Elvis Presley and America. Good rack tom drumming on this one for me. Acoustic guitar. I'm not too keen on it. It's just a bit mundane. It could have been a B-side. For me, it's just not for me. But the drum mix in that song is superb. The drum sound is absolutely brilliant. Talking about that the other day, watching Depeche Mode on U2, and you're listening to Christian Aguilar drumming for U2, big kit, and it just sounds like he's flicking biscuit tin lids. And it's like, come on. So when you listen to this, you've got this sound on this album. It just fills the room. It's an acoustic instrument. Let it resonate. It's okay, but it's not for me, that song. So you've got MLK, which is Martin Luther King. Again, beautifully emotion. Again, a lot of emotion with this, but depends where you are, what you're doing at the time. But I was in a nice, comfy place when I was doing this review, and it was really nice, and it took me back to teen memories. Again, nice keyboard parts on this one, just gentle chords sitting in the background. Again, Bono's vocals just perfection on this album, to be honest with you. Very poetic, really stunning. It's just brilliant. To me, it's a song to reflect life on, to contemplate as well. And there's a line in it that I wrote down. It goes, "The place that you're headed to is still there. Don't give up on it." That means a lot to me personally. And again, you had the Pride 12-inch single. And I didn't have it on 12, but got obviously the Unforgettable Fire, Sort of Homecoming on the B-side. If you can, watch that tour live in Dortmund on YouTube. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And before I go, next week's going to be something really, really different, and it is for the younger people. So something I've just been introduced to over the last couple of weeks. So I said I will give it a try. Thank you.
Good stuff. Nice for you to put something on for me, Rob. That's great. Sid, what have you got for us today? Just the album today, I think.
The album today, yeah. Sport was asking the question. I was get me notes up. Yeah, my two kids love. Well, yeah, who doesn't? They love Queen and ABBA. You know, my little one's more of a rock chick, which is great from my perspective. Little big one's into pop music, basically. But yeah, right. But Litland, yeah, quite diverse Litland stuff. Quite a range of proper rock. Right, I've gone with a really great album. I've not stopped listening to it recently, so I thought I'd put it on. Is Dixie Chicken by Little Feat, which is a brilliant album. I absolutely love it, from 1973. Like sort of got that southern New Orleans bluesy sort of groove. Absolutely love it. The title track, Dixie Chicken, just brilliant. Proper New Orleans, laid back, loads of space, funky groove. It's got Gloria Jones on backing vocals, who was, of course, Mark Bolan's partner, became Mark Bolan's partner. Just what a lovely song. Great piano, just fantastic. We then got Two Trains, which is a soulful groove with Lowell George's superb slide playing on it. This is quite a good laid-back late-night album, by the way, folks. This is quite a quick one because the album's quite short. Roll 'em Easy's the next one. Is a lovely, again, it's an acoustic laid-back song with lovely harmonies, that sort of Crosby, Stills and Nash sort of thing going on a little bit. Some super harmonies. Track 4, On Your Own Way, is an Alan Toussaint song, who is basically Alan Toussaint. If you don't know him, he's like the king of New Orleans. He's the proper New Orleans piano player, wrote loads of big hits. And he wrote this one. And again, it's another fantastic song. Again, the whole album's, if I was to describe one word, it's just airy. Lots of space in the songs, really airy, really based on the grooves. Very laid back, you know, just superbly done in just a really nice way. We've then got Kiss It Off, which is the next song, a short song, Lowell George. And I've written here, it's almost like a Free Bad Company type of song. It's quite mournful with these vocals. And again, just very, very laid back, you know, with some very soft guitar playing on it. We've then got Fool Yourself, which is a groove song. It's a bit like The Band from Canada, The Band. And again, super harmonies, just terrific tune. Actually, I'd say they're very similar, a bit like The Band, a bit like Steely Dan, a bit like Bad Company in parts as a band. Really good. Walking All Night, but they've got the member of the band, Paul Barrere, singing it. And so he's got a different voice on it, yeah, and he's got a really good rock voice, actually. It's about an attractive woman walking. It's quite an amusing song. Again, fantastic slide. We've then got my favorite track on the album, which is a song called Fat Man in the Bathtub, which is it's dead catchy. I mean, Fat Man in the Bathtub is not what you'd imagine to be a catchy title, but it's a super catchy song. It's quite complex. Funny title, but brilliant song. We've then got Juliet. Again, it's got a flute on it, on Juliet. But I've written here, but it does have like a Bad Company meets Steely Dan type of groove, which it really does summarize this band. And then the last song is Lafayette Railroad, which is just an instrumental. A nice way to finish the album with George Lowell's slide guitar playing. He died very, very young, unfortunately. He died at the end of the 70s. So they did about 6 albums with him, and that was that. As that form of the band, but a fantastic album. It's a really good album, folks. If you've not heard it, you want something a little bit laid back. If you're into sort of, I think they're better than the Eagles, but that's another story. Right. But if you want that sort of, you know, South sort of, you know, that sort of West Coast sort of groove, it's definitely got that thing going on. Laurel Canyon sort of thing, a little bit. Got a bit of that going on. It's a super album. Really, really like it. So yeah, Little Feat, Dixie Chicken. Give it a go.
Great stuff. The question in the chat was, why does she only have one thumb? It's nothing of any major description, really. It's just a real...
belly button. It's hard to tell, is it?
Apparently, it was surreal and humorous artistic style of the illustrator Neon Park, known as whose name was Martin Muller. That's the reason. I did Google it whilst Sid was telling us about the album. Driving Me Wild by Roxy Music on Radio Tyneside earlier. What a track, says Dean. Thank you for becoming a member again, Dean. Much appreciated. And yes, Rob, Sid was telling us that you've been onto his show. It's going to be up soon. The Goth special. How was it from your perspective?
It was really good. It was very difficult because top 10, oh, that's easy. And no, it's not. It's okay, but I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the experience. Guys were brilliant, very welcoming. But yeah, it could have went on and on and on all night. It could have been, I could have went on all night about it, but I really, really liked it, and I appreciate Sid inviting me on the show.
Yeah, one of the Peters is very, very funny. When you watch it, he's very, very funny.
Looking forward to it. You'll be able to catch that on Songs from the Attic. Rob, for now, we will see you again next week. Take care, mate.
Thank you, gents. Bye-bye.
Take care, man. Look after yourself.
Great stuff. Good to have Rob on. Okay, got about 10 minutes left on the show. Transfer window's open, Sid. Eddie really told us on Friday not to get excited about it.
Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? I was saying before, I'd love to see us get a left back. As I said before, to cover Lewis Hall, but also then to allow Lewis Hall to go into midfield as well, or left wing if needs be. So that's a bit of a shame. And the debate is whether we get another striker, isn't it? Is a third, although Callum Wilson sounds like he's free. I don't know if you've seen that, but sounds like he's going. So I would not be surprised to see Callum Wilson suddenly rock up again in the next week. I really would not be surprised to see that happen.
Interesting.
It's his third choice striker, honestly. And then see the lad go out to somewhere in Jim Frankfurt, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sula. I mean, he doesn't really want to let him go, does he? I mean, we know we should be used to this now. He often says, he doesn't want to let anybody go at all, but he plays his cards close to his chest, Eddie.
He does, and I mean, they were talking about giving Fabian Schär another contract. I mean, he's fabulous. Does he get another year? Debatable. But even though he's fab, literally. But I mean, it's a funny one, Asula, isn't it? Because the guy's got loads of potential, hasn't he? He's bagged a few goals in through crazy moments. He causes chaos, doesn't he? And a lot of teams don't like the idea of chaos. But he's your perfect plan B in many respects. If it pays off, it pays off. It doesn't, at least you've tried. But what I will say, he could be a right winger. We're not sure. But he's been better on the right wing than Elanga's been all season, because I would personally stick Elanga out on loan. And I bet you West Ham would take him. And I would jettison him at the end of the season. He's been an absolute disaster.
Give him the Foresters part payment for a midfielder that we could take from there. What's he called again? Oh, yeah, Elliot Anderson. Chris Wood has been spotted in the Black Garter, says Dean. Get in. And Wolves supposedly offering Strand Larson at a reduced fee since having his head turned in the summer. He's just not regained any form. Yeah, interesting. Maybe Newcastle will focus on a striker and bring one in. But yeah, I'd be surprised if Wilson's back. But yeah, then again, we should never be surprised. We shouldn't be. A couple of managerial sackings as well, of course, not related to Newcastle, which of course has prompted Eddie Howe to be linked with the jobs and the vacancies at Manchester United and Chelsea. He made it quite clear today that he's going nowhere. He's happy continuing at Newcastle, and he re-emphasised that the people who they brought in behind the scenes have been are good. He's clearly happy with Hopkinson and Wilson, isn't he? He's clearly happy with them.
Because the inference might be that he might have took it last year because he's clearly very, very unhappy. Although
he says he's always had a good relationship with the owners.
Yes. So now he's delighted because you've got two guys above who are doing their jobs that he likes. He's helped one of them get the job by the sounds of it. I don't know the ins and outs. But he seems very, very keen. Whereas, let's be honest, it didn't work with the previous director of football. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm sick of Sky Sports. It's just all about Manchester United at the minute. I mean, it's ironic that Celtic can barely get a headline, with regards to their manager. It just shows you the situation with Scottish football. And Chelsea, who are a big team, have gotten virtually no nothing on the news. Yeah, they've signed Leroy Senior, but there's virtually been nothing on the news with regards to, because it's all about Manchester United. And I'm just absolutely sick of it. It just perpetuates that myth about them as a club, and therefore keeps their profile going, and therefore keeps them as a big club. I mean, Steve Bruce would be absolutely. I would laugh for a week. I'd actually be taken to hospital through laughing.
Get him in. Get him in.
Get him in. Bring him home.
How's the bacon? How's the bacon, did you say? Fantastic. Okay, Sid has to get away, so we will look ahead to Leeds United at home. Daniel Farke's side travel to Tyneside on Wednesday for an 8:15 kickoff. I know, I can hear you all groaning. It's not bad enough having night games, 8:15. I know it's only 15 minutes more, but it's just a pain in the backside for everybody. Those of you who aren't going to the game, of course, you may be a little bit stumped at this, but it is on Sky Sports Cricket. How's that for a joke? Newcastle go into the game unbeaten in their last 11 league and cup fixtures, 11 in total. Newcastle haven't lost any of the most recent 5 games against Leeds, but just one. The other 4
beaten them in 12 years.
Right. Well, that's right. Yeah, the other 4 all ended in draws, including each of the last 3 meetings. Team news: Dan Burn, Anthony Elanga, William Asula, Jamal Lascelles and Emil Kraft remain out. Jacob Murphy is doubtful with a hamstring issue. So our talk about that earlier was correct. Dan James is injured, with Joe Roden, Jaden Bogle, Sebastian Bornau and James Justnall doubtful. Sean Longstaff sadly is recovering from a foot problem and could be on the bench against his former club. It could be very much touch and go, but doesn't look as if he'll make it.
Well, he put one of our players out for about 2 months last time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Conflicting reports coming from Leeds as to whether he'd be available or not. The Whites come to St James's Park unbeaten in their last 7 games, having drawn each of their most recent 3. On the road so far this season, Leeds have won once at Wolves, drawn 3, Brentford, Sunderland and Liverpool, and lost the other 6. That trio of stalemates has come in their most recent 3 games on the road. The first Premier League meeting of the sides ended goalless at Ellen Road back in August. Michael Salisbury, it's his first Newcastle game of the season. Last time he took charge was April's 3-0 victory over Ipswich Town at St James's, and VAR is Paul Howard. Don't forget, if you go into the game, the food bank will be behind the Gallagher as normal, and any cash donations will be matched by Jamie Rubin. So, Sid, tough game, but a winnable game.
Yeah, I think you put the first team out because obviously you've got the cup game at the weekend, and that'll be a totally different lineup. It is a tough game, and the games are thick and fast, but it's a kind of cliche. But what's nice is we're on a bit of form now, and also some of the fitness levels of the likes of Tonali will be raised. I think Lewis Hall will be probably rested, just because he looked a bit knackered the other day, and we've just got to watch him a little bit. It sounds like there's clearly a slight issue, and we just got to make sure that he's 100%. So I expect Tino to play left back and have Miley at right. I think we'll win. I think our record will be broken for 12 years, and I'm going to go for a 4-1 win. I'm going to go with Dean's score. I agree. I'm going to go with 4-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So I went with a narrower margin because I predicted both of mine before we played at the weekend. I thought we'd beat Crystal Palace 3-1. I'm going to stick with 2-1. I'm going to stick with a 2-1 win over Leeds. I think my heart says it could be more, and I can see why you're going to go for a bigger margin, especially with their league position. But yeah, I'll stick to 2-1. But a win's a win, and it keeps the run going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But quick prediction for the cup game.
Yeah, go for it.
3-3 penalties. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, there's a few people think that's going to be a high-scoring game. I'll be predicting mine at the weekend, of course, on that. Sid, thanks as always, mate. Look forward to seeing you on the next Talk of the Toon. Take care.
Take care, man. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, folks.